everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sheena Joy, and today we're going to be setting up the June 2018 bullet journal spread, and it's going to be fun, so let's get started. Starting off with a whole variety of purple pens, and now I'm doing my cover page, and that's because I want to draw a frame with violets on either side, and I chose violets because we've been seeing a lot of violets along our family walks and on our lawn too, and purple is just a beautiful color. So I take my pencil and I do everything in the pencil first, and that's just to give me a guide. After I'm done watercoloring, I'm going to take my black Sharpie pen and give everything an outline. So I'm using Crayola Supertips markers and Tombow dual brush pens as my watercolor. So I spread the marker on the palette and then I pick up the color with a wet brush and then I apply it to the page. Here I used a little bit too much water, so I have to use my heating tool to dry it before I use my Sharpie. So you can see I'm just finishing up putting the outline around the flowers with my Sharpie pen, and it works out really well. Also, I'm using a little purple color to put over that month of June, just to give it that nice little soft purple touch. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the frame with a soft wash of purple. And you're going to see a lot of purple throughout this spread, and it's really pleasing to the eye. I really love it. So now I'm setting up my monthly spread, and you might have seen my last bullet journal set up for May, where I did individual boxes separated by a space for each day of the month. But here I'm returning to like one continuous box for the month of June, and it's good to switch it up, and it was a little bit quicker to set up, I'm going to admit. And as you know, that summer gets really busy, so sometimes we change our style, at least I do, and change my layouts. So now I'm just finishing marking the days of the month. And then next, I'm going to put the month of July, just because I like to look at the following month when I set up my monthly spread. And then below the look ahead of July, I'm going to put a little decorative element of violets. And I like the simplicity of this spread. Of course, I said before, I love the purples, and it's all working out beautifully. So now I'm moving on to the mood tracker, and I used a roll of double-sided tape that I had on my desk as a guide for my circle. And then I'm doing a section for each day of the month, and just going over it in a Sharpie pen and using my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to do some of the lettering as well. So now I'm going to use some violets up here on the corner, and yeah, I really like this style of mood tracker. I had done this in the fall, but I haven't done it for a couple months, so I thought I'd use it this month. So now I'm putting out each one of the moods that I want to track, and then I'm going to put a color for each mood. And I find this really helpful. It helps me to look back, and I don't know, I almost left it out, but I thought, you know what, I really like it. And now on to my monthly goals. I find this part of my bullet journal so important. Like to state out and put it out there to the universe that this is what I want to do this month. It doesn't even matter if I completely reach that goal. It's that expression of like reaching for the stars and you'll get to the moon or something like that. But you know what I mean? It's like having these positive goals to reach for and then just setting about to do them. And either way, it's going to be a positive outcome. So once again, I'm using my Tombow markers as a watercolor and just adding a little decorative element at the bottom of this page. It really turns out pretty, and I don't think I mentioned it before, but I'll link everything below that I used. And if you don't want to use them as watercolors, they look just perfect as just straight out markers. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting my habit tracker, and this is the second time I've used this spread. I really like it. I like how it looks, first of all. And when I find that there's pretty things to fill out in my bullet journal, I'm more inclined to fill them out. I don't know why, but it's just true for me. And so adding some color in there, putting each of my habits I want to track. And then I'm putting this decorative like flower pot of violets on top. And you'll see later on that I make a mistake when I'm putting in the habit tracker heading. I'm using this jelly pen, and it's I can't remember the brand, but it smears after a while because I didn't give it enough time before I erase the pencil lines. So you'll see how I fix that later. And then here I'm putting in my thought jot page. So I'm kind of working on two pages at the same time. And yeah, there we go. I'm putting in the piece of paper to remedy that smeared jelly roll. Just finishing off that thought jot page, and then I'm on to the expense tracker. And the expense tracker, I used to just use one page only, but I found that I didn't have enough room. So now I'm putting in 2 pages. And then I put in the day, the amount, and the description. And that's enough information for me because at the end of the month, I put everything into categories and see where money is going, and that really helps our family. So I'm going to put in a little monthly view of June here on the lower right hand corner, and that helps me keep on track throughout the month, just to remind me which day of the week is corresponding to that date. So I made a mistake in writing out the title of my Inner Reflections page. So I used a piece of purple paper to go over that mistake. I've seen other bullet journalers do this, but this is my first time trying it. Actually, I really like it. And now doing some more decorative work here on the page. So I'm moving on to my weekly spread. I'm putting 4 days per page, putting this light wash of color for a flower, and then over that putting each day of the week. Okay, so we're gonna do flip through of the month, and as you saw, I choose violets for my theme, and there's a cover page right there. And looking at the monthly spread, I did fill in some special days, which is June 14th. That's my dad's birthday. He passed away in November, but of course I'll always remember his birthday. Father's Day on June 17th, and National Aboriginal Day on the 21st. And of course, there's a look ahead to July. So this is the mood tracker with the mood guide. And if you've never used a mood tracker before, it's just kind of something to help you look at your moods throughout the month. I know I like to look back on mine, and it really helps me. And for me, I put like 4 different general moods, and but you could put more if you want. I used to do more, so whatever works for you. And then as you go through the days, you fill in the color, and I might use more than one color per day, just depending on the day, basically. And here are my monthly goals. Plenty of fresh air, drawing and hand lettering. I want to continue with that. I want to finish the cupboards of my kitchen. I want to do a raised bed because we have 2 sections to our vegetable garden now, and I want to add a raised bed on the side. And actually I might do a sketch in here later on in a month. And I want to do a flower bed at the front of our vegetable garden. So, and there's a habit tracker, and this is my second time using this this system here, where I write down the habit I want to track, and then as each day goes by, I'll fill in like a color. So, and I think I showed you how I remedied this mistake with a piece of paper. So there's my thought jot page, which functions for me as a brain dump page, and put my lists and my notes and reminders, and I can do more thought jot pages later in the month as I need them. There's my expense tracker. I've done 2 pages this time because I didn't find that 1 page was enough. So that really works for our family, and it really helps us stay on track and to help us budget for the next month. Like, say for example, if I add up all the groceries for that month, well, at least I have a better idea of how much to budget for the next month for groceries. All right, so that really works. And then I have an inner reflections page because I use my bullet journal as my diary, and sometimes I write extensively and sometimes not much at all. And I did the first 4 days for my weekly. And for these, I don't know, last month I did the boxes. Well, I've been doing the boxes a lot, but I saw this on Pinterest, and I'll link it below for the picture that inspired me. And also you can check out my Pinterest profile too. I'll put that below as well. So yeah, I just like that little wash of a flower and just writing over it, and it's simple, it's beautiful. All right, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're all well, and happy journaling, everybody. Happy creating, and consider subscribing if you haven't, and give the video a like if you enjoyed. Okay, bye. I'm adding in a couple of links here on this screen, just in case you feel like watching more bullet journal videos. I hope you're all well, and again, thanks again for being here. Take care, everyone. Okay, bye.